Who wants to kick us off? Yeah, go on.
Ange, just on Will Lancashire, impressive pre-season, great goal against the Spurs. Is he someone that you think coming into the Europa League that will kind of start playing properly and maybe even challenging Richarlison if he's fit?
Yeah, look, we've been really happy with Will. Unfortunately, he picked up a slight injury in that game, against Bristol, but he should be right after the window. But that's why we're keeping him with us. You know, him and Mikey, the two young players, we're going to keep with the first team. And the reason we're keeping them with the first team is because we feel like they're going to contribute and play. Whether that's Europa, whether that's Carabao Cup, whether it's League, they're part of the first team. So. And if Richie's out for any extended period of time, then we'll definitely be part of it. But Will and Mikey have done really well in pre-season, and we'll feel they'll benefit from being around the first team.
And just kind of on those two youngsters, even if they don't play in the Europa League, do you think the experience will be so important for them? Trips away to Galatasaray, dream come true for a youngster like that, surely.
Well, yeah, if they play and play well, mate, or else it's not going to be a pleasant experience. It's like anything else in life, all these things, with young players, I think, what I try and instill in them is it's about performance, it's about actions rather than just experiences. And whether Mikey and Will are involved in that, like I said, the reason we're keeping them with us at the moment is because we feel like them being around the first team environment, we've seen that during the pre-season, it's they've thrived in that, and that's what we'll continue to do. There's always January to us reassess if they haven't played enough, whether we send them out on loan. Other players have gone out on loan because we feel like they need some first-team exposure more regularly. But both with Will and Mikey, they're part of the first team. They're like every other player, they get an opportunity to contribute, and hopefully they will.
Darren.
Yeah, hi. No James Madison for England this week. Disappointed, I'm sure he was himself. How far is James from getting back into not just even forward, being back to his best, basically? I know you touched on it before.
Look, as I said, I think he started the season really well. He's had an impact in both games. Very close to, getting on the score sheet in both games. I think his general play in both games has been really, really good. So, as long as he's training well and playing well, then I'm sure, he'll be in the England reckoning. And I guess that's a question for Lee and future camps. But I know he desperately wants to get back into the England setup. But I think if he continues to play like he does, like he started the season, and makes more and more of an impact, like we know he can, then I see no reason why he won't get back in there at some point.
But you see no signs of him getting back to his back physically and on the pitch as well?
I think everyone is, yeah.
George.
Forgive me, but throwing it forward as a recruitment team, have you already kind of started thinking about January and what you need to do then to push this away?
Yeah, you always do. I mean, like I said, these things are all cycles, but you just, a lot of it is fluid because you just don't know. I mean, we weren't sure whether Lucas Bergvall would come straight into the first team or we had to send him out on loan because he's an 18-year-old player who's just played in the Swedish league, But, we saw almost from the first couple of weeks of training, okay, this guy's going to be a first-team player. So how he develops, how Archie develops, how Wilson Odegaard develops, all these kind of things, are factored into it. But we know there's still some areas in the sort of when I look at squad management where we can improve. But again, it's got to be the right person, right player, right person. Johan and his team now are kind of already started the process of looking at guys who maybe fit that profile of what we're looking for. If they're available in January, like Radu was last year, or we picked up Lucas last year in January, then we'll move on it. But it's a constant process. And it has to be that way. Like I said, I've never liked sort of knee jerk or just sort of Hail Mary approaches to things. Sometimes it's necessary. I get that, and it works. But I'm much more comfortable when things are done through a sort of process.
You mentioned Wilson there. I mean, you chucked him in last week, and in the building sort of a week. Does that sort of show it doesn't matter what players did last season? It's about the here and now. If they're performing and training, they're going to get the chances and take them.
I don't chuck players in. I mean, I think I select them on the basis of some predetermined criteria that makes me think they're going to do okay. But yeah, no, Wilson was great last week, and I was rapt to get him. He was kind of, one I was really keen on all summer, and like I said, we had to be a bit patient with him because obviously the Dom Solanke deal went on a bit longer than we thought it would, and we had to get that done first. But I thought he was great last week. His first game, 19 years old, and he was exciting to watch, and he'll just get more and more comfortable with us. I've said before, I don't mind players coming in early and us giving them exposure early, because I think it gets it out of the way. I think you can sort of try and protect them, but I think when you're at a big club, just get them out there, get them understanding that the atmosphere and what the team's like, and I thought he adapted really well.
Cool. And Dan?
Just to pick up on that, Ange, have Lucas and Archie surprised you since they came in, and have their kind of comfort in pre-season, has that affected or changed your transfer plans?
No, I don't surprise, because I always kind of keep an open mind, and I'd like to think when we're signing players, I'm kind of signing them because I think they're going to be good players. But like I said, you just don't know. Sometimes at 18, Lucas, like I said, he played in Sweden. It's not like he was playing in the Serie A when we brought him across, or Bundesliga we brought him across. And Archie's obviously played a full season in the Championship. But yeah, I've been really impressed with both guys, more in the way they've handled things and their maturity, even though they're 18, and kind of the way they've sort of fit in with the whole group, and their ability to sort of take in information and train at a certain level, because again, our training is fairly intense. Their capacity to do that from a physical perspective has been really good. So it didn't really change anything materially in sort of what I wanted to sort of accomplish this transfer window. We may have gone a bit stronger in a different area if both of those guys didn't work out, but that wouldn't have been a major shift from what we've already done. But I think I said before, I think our kind of main focus this window was around sort of the front third, to make sure we really bolstered that, and I think we've got some good outcomes there, and those two young guys kind of just further reinforce kind of the areas where we're okay in anyway.
Any final ones? No. Thank you very much.
Thank you.